What's up guys, Josh Hublitz. If you're new to the channel, former Division I tennis player turned practice partner for the ATP and WTA Tour. I'm doing a series called Practice Partner Chronicles where I break down the over 38 hits that I did this year at Indian Wells. 2 weeks of training with the pros every day, 3 to 4 hits a day, what those practices were like, some cool stories in between, and really just like what I've learned from playing against a pro ball that much. Shamelessly, like and subscribe. Let's kick this off. I want to talk about one of the biggest key takeaways that I learned, which is that you have to emulate the pro ball. And what do I mean by this? I learned this when I had a morning where I hit with Arthur Fils and Medvedev back to back. Such stark differences. Medvedev's ball is so flat, and I've discussed this in some of my other videos. Sometimes he hits like underspin, but like a full ground stroke. It's crazy. Arthur Fils, he's got the most RPMs on his forehand on tour. It's like 3,300, like 3,000 plus RPMs. It's like Nadal level RPMs. Going from Medvedev's flat ball to Arthur Fils, crazy spin. Whatever my normal neutral ball is, I can't just hit that back. The pace is so fast with these guys. When Medvedev is firing me like a laser of a forehand and it's totally flat, I have to hit it flat back. I can't just start ripping with spin. When Arthur Fils is delivering 3,300 RPMs at my forehand, I can't just like hit that flat back. I have to start ripping it with spin. I've realized in these practices that I started to emulate their ball in order to survive because they're playing at such a high pace. The ball is so fast at that level, which is cool because like your timing becomes sick. Like I'll go and hit with my brother afterwards. He did it too, Zach. And we're both like at the peak of our ball striking ability for sure in life. It looks like slow motion when we're playing with each other, which is just like a step down. You get so used to the lightning fast pace of these guys, but because it's so fast, you sort of just have to deliver back whatever ball is coming your way. So if it's flat, you're hitting flatter. If it's heavy and spinny, you're hitting heavy and spinny back. Can't even say that. You're hitting heavy and spinny back. I really noticed it though against Arthur Fils because we were doing forehand cross court, and then he would take it down the line and open it up, and then we'd play it out. Or no, I would take it down the line and open it up and then play it out. But when we were going cross court, it was actually nice to just hit it with so much spin because there was a little bit more safety. Like I watched his ball in a match and I was like, from behind, this looks ridiculous. I don't know how anybody handles this. And then when I went and played with him, no, this is actually in some ways more comfortable than like a Medvedev ball. It allows me to rip with more spin. So in some ways it's kind of like safer for training purposes. Now, I would not want to be on the defending side of that ball in like match play. It was just interesting, right? Like you can't just start ripping spin against a flat ball, and you can't just start hitting flat against a super spinny ball. That's something that I think the pros do super well, is they adjust to the ball that is coming to them. I think the junior mindset, and something that like I focused on too much growing up, was like, what am I doing well or not well? Like how can I, make my shot better? Even like in matches, I would get too caught up on like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing well? Like I need to be hitting with more spin, but like sometimes it's about what is the opponent's ball doing and how do I adjust to that? And I think that's like the difference at the pro level, is they can all hit the ball well, and it's all very different player to player. Like elite balls, but very different. Since they have mastered the ball striking itself to the max, they are thinking, okay, how do I adjust to the ball that's coming towards me on the other side of the net? Long story short, like don't be so selfish, right? Like it's not all about you and what's happening on this side of the court. At the highest level, it's really what's happening on the other side of the net, and how do I adjust for that? Alcaraz is like the maxed out version of this example, where he's like mastered the game of tennis. He has every single tool. He's kind of has a 10 out of 10 on every single shot. So he can do everything. So when he goes on court and I see him play in person, now I'm starting to see he's literally just adjusting to what is happening on the other side of the net because he has every tool. He's not like still trying to work through or like find his forehand, maybe for like a couple games. Most of the time, he has everything. So the only thing left for him to do is to just adjust to what's happening on the other side of the net. That's actually more difficult if you are that good. It's kind of easier to like have a weakness in some ways because you at least know what to do and what not to do with your own tools. And in the context of being a practice partner, you're really trying to survive these practices best you can and just do like, you know, the best job you can. And so in order to do that, sometimes you just have to emulate the ball that's coming back to you, and you start to do it, which is crazy. You actually start to play at that speed. I think a lot of it is because you're redirecting that pace. It's an insane feeling when it clicks and you're suddenly hitting heavy balls with Arthur Fee's 3,300 RPM forehand. If you see the shot enough, you kind of start to figure out how to do it yourself. That's the craziest part. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep breaking down the over 38 hits that I had. We still gotta talk about Felix. We gotta talk about Francis. We gotta talk about Jennifer Brady, Ostapenko on the women's side. Tons of hits left. Yeah, drop in the comments if you have any questions about like what it's like to hit with these guys. Let me know and we'll talk about it.